Now you should do like me. I'm re-enlisting when my first hitch is up.
Oh, yeah? 30-year man.
But why not? This man's army's the only steady job I ever had. Hey, come on, I'm giving you the whole road.
All right, follow that bike, you understand?
Yeah, sure.
All right, get out. With your hands up. Move! Face this way. If they turn around, shoot them.
Like money in the bank.
Try to be a hero, damn it.
Pete, cover me! Ridgeway, this is Transport 411. We're being hijacked. Aliso Canyon. Pete, get it!
He's dead.
Oh, no. Wayne, you said nobody was going to get hurt. You promised me.
Come on, let's start moving.
What about the rest of the guns?
If he got through to anybody on that radio, this place is going to be swarming with cops any minute. Meet us back at your place.
Hey, wait a minute, Wayne. What about me?
Nothing's changed. Our bases were covered and you didn't see what we were driving. You know the lyrics. Didn't waste any time.
We'd be long gone if we didn't have to stop at that damn motel.
Shut up.
Identification, please.
What's up, officer?
Been a robbery. May I have a look in the back, Mr. Lockwood?
Sure.
The kid's got a cold, so don't wake him up, okay?
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, we're kind of pooped out. Been up all night nursing the kid.
Sorry to bother you folks. I hope the boy feels better.
Thank you.
Cops are such dumbbells.
You're so bright. I ought to break your head, lady.
What's the matter now?
You were supposed to tell those people at the motel to keep Jody out of the pool. Now his cold is worse.
When it comes to this kid of yours, I can't do anything right, can I?
Thank you.
Hi, they'll be out in a minute.
Oh, not more red tape.
Yeah, what can I tell you? It's as hard to check somebody out of prison as in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Nesbitt. I'd like you to meet our new associate in the office, J.R. Jones. Chicago's answer to the legal profession.
How are you?
My daughter know that I'm here?
Yeah, Barnaby just told her.
Now, don't worry, Mrs. Nesbitt. I'm sure everything's going to be just fine. It's been 7 years since Julie ran away from home, Betty. 7 years trying to find her. Didn't she phone or write in all that time? Sometimes there would be a postcard from Taos or a commune in Arizona. Living like a nomad with that strange young man. I didn't even know they'd had a child until Jody was almost a year old.
Well, I tell you, trying to get a line on Wayne Lockwood has been next to impossible.
No wonder. Man robs a supermarket and then runs off and leaves Julie to be arrested by the police. How could he do that to...
The toughest part of making up is that first howdy.
Julie? You look very nice.
Thanks for sending over the new clothes.
They fit all right?
I haven't changed much. Except maybe I've grown up a little.
I have too. In all these years. Julie, I know that you had to give my address because the parole board requires it. If you'd like to stay a while with me,
I just want to come home.
You will discover, JR, that for times like these, you should always carry an extra supply of handkerchiefs.
oh, I saw him a marshmallow. So what? Mr. Jones, I don't know how to thank you all for finding Julie for me.
Well, since we've only brought together part of the family so far, maybe you better save part of the thanks till we find your little grandson.
There's still no trace of Jody?
Well, we think we have a place to start in our search for Lockwood. Did you bring the blow-ups?
Yeah, I did. I made a dozen. That's the best of them.
You recall when this picture was made?
About 18, 19 months ago. Before the robbery and my arrest. Why?
We thought we might be able to trace Lockwood through the license plate.
You see, with only the numbers visible, the DMV can't possibly come up with the current address.
Now try very hard, Julie. See if you can recall the letters on the license plate.
Yeah? We'd had such tough luck with that truck. I figured the license plate said it all. Jinx. J and X.
Griffith Markham Imports.
Yeah, there's Wayne. Griff there?
It's Wayne Lockwood.
Hey, old buddy. How you going?
Yeah, about that merchandise. You ready to talk some business?
That's my native tongue. When?
About an hour, okay? At the park?
See you there. Hey, Roy, did you ever meet Lockwood?
Who?
Wayne Lockwood, you know?
No.
That's good. That's good. Now, you stay out of it for now.
Okay.
I'm meeting Griff at the park in about an hour.
Then we can get some tacos or something. I'm starving.
Later. Listen, Jody needs something for his cold. I'm gonna drop you two off at the clinic first.
Will you come on? I gave him one of those tranks I lifted from the drugstore in Palmdale. He's all right.
You gave Jody a tranquilizer?
Well, you said he needed some rest, didn't you?
If you ever do that again, I'll kill you. Do you understand?
Someone you know?
Me. It's like looking at a ghost of myself 7 years ago.
The flowers in your hair.
The whole bit. We were going to make the world look like a label and a bottle of herbal-scented shampoo.
It takes some of the kids a long time to find their way back to reality. You have to watch out so you don't become a cynic.
Wayne did that when he graduated from petty little rip-offs to armed robbery.
You the guy that's asking for me?
Yes, if you're the Cy Rogers that the DMV says that pickup truck out there is registered to.
So?
Oh, excuse me. This is Julie Nesbitt. I'm Barnaby Jones, a private investigator.
Look, what is to investigate? I bought that truck over 9 months ago.
Yes, I know, from Wayne Lockwood.
Cy, don't you remember me?
You're Lockwood's old lady.
When you saw Wayne, was Jody with him?
Yeah. Neat little kid.
Great. I haven't seen him in a year and a half.
Where is Wayne now?
Drifting. I don't know. Last I heard, someone saw him over in Venice, maybe 2-3 months ago.
Who saw him?
Must have been Rudy. Rudy Bates. Remember Rudy? Click, 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 always with the camera. But he's gone straight now like the rest of us, earning his daily cheesecake.
Any idea where?
Different places. He shoots for some ad agency, but don't ask me which one.
Well, that's all right. We can probably locate him with a couple of phone calls. Thank you very much.
Sure. Bye, Julie.
What I owe you?
Who was that?
That was Leo Shenson, Wayne's best friend. Leo'd know where Wayne and Jody are.
I got 36 of these heavyweights and 3 cases of M16s.
Let's see, 36 and 3. All right, I'll give you 3,500. You're a friend. 4,000 for the lot.
Come on, man. Don't you think I know what this stuff goes for retail?
Now, look, Wayne. According to the news, you blew up a GI to get it. You know, that kind of taints the merchandise. Makes it a little tougher to turn over.
So don't buy.
Oh, wait. Sit down. Come on. Who said anything about not buying? I mean, did I say that? Did you hear that?
You insult me with your $4,000, it's the same thing.
Oh, all right. I insulted you. I apologize. Give you 5.
Okay.
Good boy.
I'll take this stuff to the same place in Chatsworth. What time you got?
At 2 after 1.
3 o'clock, okay?
See you there, buddy. Keep the faith.
Daddy?
Hey, Jody. What are you doing here, huh? Thought I told you to wait for me at the clinic.
I'm all better, so he didn't go to the clinic.
When I tell you to do something...
Wayne, Jody doesn't have a cold. He's just got the morning sniffles.
I don't care. I don't take chances with my kid. Do you understand? I wanted to be sure.
The clinic was jammed with all those sickies anyway. I'm hungry, Daddy. Can I have a hamburger?
Want a hamburger, kid? Huh? How about some French fries? And a vanilla malt? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Okay, now, when we roll this time, I want you to remember, the whole idea behind this is that even Eskimos eat bananas, right? They love bananas, okay? Okay.
Rudy's sure come a long way from that commune we crashed at.
Don't leave that smile in the dressing room, Foxy. Paul, let me know when that ice machine is ready, okay? I'm back. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Yes, thank you. Do you have any milk?
I think we do.
Thank you.
Wayne Lockwood. I'm supposed to have seen him where?
In Venice, about 2 or 3 months ago, according to Cy Rogers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was shooting out on the beach then. I only talked to him for a minute or so. I don't know where he'd be now.
There's one other person who might know where he is. It's Leo Shenson.
The Streak. Yeah, I remember Leo. He used to give me lifts on his bike.
Any idea where I might find him now? Is he staying with his folks or girlfriend?
I was never that close to Leo. I seem to remember that he used to crash at his father's house.
You know his father's full name?
No. Wait. Leo told me once that his father worked out of L.A. as a shack.
Shack. Well, if I can fall back on my railroading experience, a shack is someone who has charge of the freight cars in a freight train.
Right.
Hey, Wayne, you never believe who I ran into.
See that he drinks his milk. Every drop, you hear me? And then you sack out for a couple hours.
Can I come with you?
No, son. Leo, open the shed.
I wanted to tell you, there's a detective been asking about you.
Detective?
I'm not a cop. Private one. You're not gonna believe this. He was with Julie.
Julie? She's out?
Must have been paroled or something. Anyhow, she's got this Jones guy helping her look for your kid.
Julie's out. What do you know about that?
Up on Candlefoot Road off the top of Topanga Canyon.
It's out there near that hippie restaurant. Does he check out?
Well, if there's another Shenson living in L.A. working for the railroad company, the railroad union sure doesn't know about it.
I think I'll take a drive out there.
Good idea.
Don't you have any studying to do?
Yeah, I do, but I gotta earn my keep, don't I?
In the state of California, to drive a nail into a saw log intended for lumber, is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
Misdemeanor.
Felony. Now, if you want to pass that bar exam, you better stay here and bone up.
Penal Code 593a. He always uses that when he thinks a lawyer needs to be brought down a peg or two.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, don't forget, old buddy. You get any more of this stuff, give me a call, huh?
All right.
Take it easy, Leo.
Wayne.
Annie. You Jim Rokas? Are you?
I'm not Jim Rokas around here.
Oh, come on. They told me I could score with you, man. Hey, I'm hurting real bad. You know what I mean.
Oh, come on, man. Try the beanery down the hill. You might find it there.
Hey! I know one of you is Rokas. So empty your pockets and everything on the ground.
Look, we don't do junk, so we won't have any.
Now!
See? Nothing.
What's that?
It's a letter from my mother.
Hand it over.
No. No.
Oh, man. With this kind of bread, I could trip forever. Oh. Hold it. Right there.
Junkie ripped us off for all our money. Those people down there might have heard the shot.
First that soldier, now Leo. 2 people dead, and what have we got to show for it?
Get Jody. We're moving out.
Nothing. That's what we've got, absolutely nothing.
I said get Jody.
You're a loser, you know that. Well, to hell with you and to hell with nursemaiding Jody. I've had it.
Daddy?
Come on, Jody, we're taking off.
What about Amanda?
Amanda's not going to be with us anymore. In you go.
Are you a friend of the Shinsons?
Well, no, Ralph, Leo's father. We attend the same church. Good father, bad seed. It happens.
Any of Leo's friends around?
You mean that young couple?
You have a child, a little boy?
Oh, a nice little fella. It's a shame that a boy like that ends up with weirdos looking after him.
When's the last time you saw them?
Well, the man and the boy, yesterday. The woman a little while ago. I saw her heading down the hill when I come out to see what the shooting was all about. Oh, she's a real snippy type. Sashaying around like she was queen of the world.
Sounds like the girl I just saw. You blonde, wearing something that looked like an undershirt with a scarf wrapped around the middle?
That's her.
How far are you going, young lady?
As far as you want, as long as I get to San Francisco. You know, usually when I ride with a straight, I get a lecture.
About the dangers of hitchhiking? It is dangerous, you know.
What'd you have in mind? A little detour up in the woods?
No, a little detour down to the sheriff's office.
What?
You help me out, I may put in a good word for you.
Hey, man, what's going down?
I have to find Wayne Lockwood.
Who are you?
Private detective, hired by Jody's mother to find Jody.
Stop the car. I want to get out.
All right. I figure the first question the sheriff is going to ask you is who killed Leo, Wayne or you?
Wait a minute.
You were recognized. There's a witness who saw you there about the time of the shooting.
Well, it wasn't me. Wayne said that some guy showed up and he robbed him of all their money and then he shot Leo.
Where's Wayne now?
He split. He took off with Jody in the van. He didn't tell me where he was going. Can't you give me a break? I didn't have anything to do with Leo's killing.
I think the only break you can look forward to is if I find Wayne and he backs up your story.
But I swear I don't know where he took off to.
If he was tapped out by that robbery, he's going to need money. What's he been into lately?
Rip-offs, stealing stuff, anything he could sell.
To whom?
A fence.
What's the fence's name?
Griff. Griff something, and I don't know anything else, honest.
Well, that's some place to start from. Excuse me.
I'm gonna blow you right out of the box, unless I get that $5 grand back.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I mean, what's this all about?
Knock it off. You know exactly what it's about. Drop it.
Come on, Mike. Give me it. Now, you wanted to hurt me. Why? What'd I do to you?
You ought to know. You're the one that sent the gun to get the money back. Well, he killed Leo doing it.
Killed Leo?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's terrible. And let me get this straight. You're blaming me for that?
Who else knew I had the money?
Oh, come on, Wayne. People are held up every day. You see, Willie? See what grief can do to a man? Now, here's a man, he loses his friend. And what does he do? He strikes out at another friend. Now, believe me, Wayne, and this is from the heart, I didn't send any gun after you.
Yeah, okay. Maybe the hophead got lucky. I don't know.
Yeah, you lost it all, huh? That's a shame. Now, wait a minute, Wayne. I'll tell you what I'll do, Wayne. Now, I got another important order to fill. So I'll raise the ante 25%. How's that? Does that prove I'm leveling with you?
I'll have to check with my inside man.
When'll I hear from you?
Tonight. If I can set it up, it'll go down tomorrow.
Where's Roy?
It's out back.
Well, you have him tell Wayne. We find out who the source is. We eliminate the middleman.
Hey, you want to sit up front with me?
No.
Something the matter? Come here. Hey, listen, we've always been straight with each other, haven't we? Right?
Now Amanda's gone. Are we gonna go looking for Mommy again?
I don't know. She's been gone a long time.
You promised we'd find her someday.
Miss her a lot, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay. We'll see what we can do, all right?
Biddle, you have done it again. Yes, John, we owe you one. Right, bye. Well, the only Griff the police have a file on is a suspected fence by the name of Griffith P. Markham. He has an office in Studio City.
John say what he deals in?
Anything that's not nailed down. But lately, though, he's been suspected of being in the gun trade, selling to foreign mercenaries, revolutionary groups, that sort of thing.
Gun. Yeah, there has been a hijacking recently over the Palmdale area. There's a soldier killed.
John mentioned that. I also got the feeling that he'd appreciate anything you might come up with on Markham.
Betty, do you think I could make a convincing mercenary colonel? You know.
Barnaby, you're not really going to pretend to be a buyer, are you?
Well, can you think of a better way to get a close look at our Mr. Griff? First, I've got to set up a believable, good background for the colonel.
Who is it?
Hi. Heard you were looking for me. So here I am.
Judy. Is he all right?
See for yourself. He's in the van.
Jody. Mommy. Jody, my darling. Darling.
Julie? Who's that out there?
Julie! Julie.
You'll be paid handsomely. Just, who are your people? You checked me out. Let's just say that they're, patriots.
Why come to me? I mean, hard goods are a little out of my line.
I thought we checked you out. But if you insist that I got the wrong man...
No, wait a minute. Just supposing I can get you maybe 100 handguns, maybe 5 or 6 crates of M16s.
No, not enough. I thought that I was dealing with the big operator. I'm going to need at least triple that amount.
Triple? You're talking about maybe $100,000.
For a start. And I'll need the goods now.
What do you mean now? You mean today?
I'm leaving town tonight. If I can't fill my needs with you, then I'll have to go elsewhere. I'm sorry, but time is of the essence.
Okay. It just so happens that I got a man who might be able to lay his hands on some merchandise in a couple of hours. Now, if he delivers, I'll have everything you want. Maybe even more.
Sounds fine. I'll be back at 5 o'clock. If you have the goods, and it looks all right, then we'll talk money.
Fine.
Don't disappoint me now.
Right. Betty, he's coming now. I'll talk to you later.
Hear anything from Julie?
Well, Betty went to the sheriff's office and talked to Amanda, and she said that the van Julie's mother described matches Wayne's.
Yeah, that's what we figured.
How'd you do in there?
I built a fire under Markham. If I read the smoke signals correctly, somebody's going to be ripping off a shipment of guns somewhere today.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's Wayne.
Yeah, so I only hope to find Julie and the boy.
I passed a weapons carrier about 25 miles back.
Yeah?
They stopped for some chow.
How long do you figure?
An hour, maybe. Look, I made it. It's my last job.
Sure it is. Until the next time that chick of yours wants to go to Las Vegas for the weekend. And don't fall asleep. Watch for the signal.
How far out?
4.7 miles past the Baldero turnoff.
On our way.
There they are.
Get out of there. This side. Face down on the ground. Tie him up, blindfold.
Down there, they're into it now.
All right, let's go.
Come on.
Phone in this car, call the sheriff.
Oh, come on, Barnaby, you'll need me.
They got a license and they're carrying a gun. Until then, don't add to my worries. All right, gentlemen. Just turn around real carefully. Real carefully and say hello.
Griff. I just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Don't do anything dumb.
He was yours.
So I told a little lie. You the inside man? But from now on, you're my man.
Hold it! Drop the gun.
Oh. The Colonel. You know, you look a lot better without that phony eye patch.
I see a lot better, too. Drop the guns.
Sure.
Stay right where you are. Give up, Markham. You got no place to go.
I don't think so, Colonel. I don't see any of your people around here. You came alone, didn't you? Hey, Colonel. Or is it cop? Looks like we got a little standoff here, doesn't it?
Until the sheriff gets here, he's on the way.
Daddy! Daddy!
Jody, go back to your mother.
Keep cool. Keep cool. You're a dead man right now. Jody? Jody, your daddy's only fooling.
Leave the boy out of this, Markham.
Come on, Jody.
You're not using my boy as a shield.
Don't you worry about the boy. He's not gonna get hurt. Come on, Jody.
No!
Jody!
Are you all right?
Sure.
Julie?
Yes,
Jody.
he's all right. He's in the van. I'll get him.
No. No, I don't want him to see me like this. Julie,
Yes.
do you remember? Remember the flowers?
Yes.
We all wore flowers in our hair.
When I first met Wayne, Mr. Jones, he really was a very nice young man.
I'm sure Wayne will appreciate your telling that to Jody every chance you get.
Jody.
Let's go.
We're in. Relax. Just like breaking into a sorority, huh?
Eagle Security, gate. What? You were hijacked? Where? I just saw you drive in. Damn. Okay, I'll call. Sergeant, this is Nielsen at Eagle Security. 3 guys hijacked one of our trucks on North Pico. Yeah, they took his keys and just drove in here a few minutes ago.
Come on. Why can't you hurry it up? Relax, Lester. Relax. What if that driver gets untied? We left him out in the middle of nowhere. Suppose a car comes by and takes him to a phone. That's got it.
Hold it right there. Hands where I can see them. Nice and easy.
Let's get out of here. Help me, Al. Help me. You're gonna be all right, Lester. You're gonna be all right. Get his keys. Where are they? Cool. I'll drive. Put him in the back. Come on. Put him in. Al. It hurts, Al. Hang in there, buddy. Hurry up. We've got to get him to a hospital.
What are we gonna say? He shot himself in the back cleaning his gun?
We've got to do something.
I think I know a doctor who won't ask too many questions.
Al. Al. Help me, Al.
Oh, my God. He's dead, Raj. He's dead! What are we gonna do, Raj?
There's only one thing we can do. Say a prayer over his grave and go on with our plans.
His grave? Now, how do we explain that?
We don't, Al. We'll bury Lester out here.
Are you crazy? What are we supposed to say to Ruth when he doesn't come home?
We don't tell her anything. We don't know anything. I tell you what, we'll leave his car at the airport. See, that way they'll find it eventually, think he split town.
I don't know, Raj.
Oh, Al, it's the only way. Look, I feel as badly about this as you do. We've already taken the first step, and if we back out now, it's not going to start Lester breathing again.
I'll call you as soon as those new shades come in. I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. I tried to get the day off, but one of the girls called in sick.
Well, that's all right, Mrs. Schiller. I understand that you spoke to the police.
The very next morning, Sergeant Anderson said that it wasn't that unusual for husbands to disappear. Like little boys running away from home, they usually came back.
Did you check the hospitals?
That's the first thing I did.
Where did your husband say he was going that night?
To the health club. He'd been going there about twice a week lately. After that, he was going to meet a friend of his for dinner, Albert Woods. They were fraternity brothers in college.
Did you talk to Woods?
Yes. He didn't meet Lester because something came up and he had to work late. He doesn't know if Lester showed up at the restaurant or not.
Are you sure he went to the health club?
No. I called there, too. But it's a busy place. No one remembers seeing him.
Mrs. Schiller, are you and your husband having any problems?
We have the usual problems. Too little money, too many bills.
What does your husband do for a living?
Sells insurance. He's been a little frustrated lately, a little restless.
Well, that could be enough to cause a man to seek a change of scene.
Maybe from his work, but not from me. Besides, wouldn't he have taken something with him? A change of clothes. He even left his wallet behind. His money, his credit cards, even his driver's license. Does that sound like a man running away from home?
No. No, it doesn't.
Morning, sport. Glad you could make it.
I've got to talk to you.
Would you smile for Melinda?
Hi, Al. Where's Lester?
I don't think you've heard from Lester for the last couple of days, have you, Al?
I know. Why do you ask?
Well, he said he'd call me. It sounded like he had something important to tell me, but that was days ago.
Well, I'm sure he'll turn up sooner or later. You know how it is when you work for a living. On second thought, maybe you don't.
Where's that grog you promised?
Yeah. I've got a better idea. Why don't you change into something more practical, and I'll take you to lunch.
I don't look good in practical.
Oh. What's wrong? I haven't seen that long a face since they threatened to take away your football scholarship.
Very funny. Ruth's been calling me about Lester.
Oh, she's been calling me, too. I tell her I haven't seen him. Have you had another chance to look over the blueprints?
I've gone over those so many times I can see them in my sleep. Raj, there is no way to get into that vault without setting off the alarm.
You're sure?
Oh, look, this is the locking device. There are 10 switches. You have to push each switch in a certain sequence. That means there's 1,024 different possibilities.
Then what about neutralizing the alarm?
Too sophisticated. You disturb any of the wires inside the box and the alarm goes.
Then how about cutting into the vault?
A torch would cause the heat-sensitive contacts to expand. But listen to me, Raj. Let's forget about the whole thing. 2 million in diamonds was a nice dream while it lasted.
Fine. Then you just go on designing executive washrooms. And I'll go on sponging off of the rich. Babysitting their beach houses while they're on the Riviera. Is that what you want?
Raj.
Look. I haven't just been wasting my time combing the beach, you know. I found out that we can rent an office on the same floor as the Diamond Exchange.
So?
So? You know that building. You helped design it. Where are the ventilation ducts?
Well, they run between the ceilings and the floors.
So what is to keep us from using those ducts to get to the top of the vault and then cut our way inside? It's possible, isn't it, Al?
Well, the heat could still reach the switch contacts, but it's possible.
You bet it is. Oh, we'd need to be a little front money, you know. A couple of months' rent, security, equipment, a little extra to splash around. 10, 12,000 at the most.
10, 12,000? Where do you expect to get it?
I thought we'd mortgage your home.
My home?
Sport, I'd mortgage this if it were mine.
Hey, Raj, that house was left to Janet by her father. Now, that's all we've got.
Is it all you want? Look, we're talking about investing 10 grand to get back 2 million. Hey, buddy, you remember what it was like in college, 4th down, seconds to go. You always went for the big one, and you used to get it too, didn't you?
Raj.
Hey, come on. Come on. Let's see the old arm.
That was 15 years ago.
Let it go! Let's see the bomb for the easy life! Let's see the old arm, hey! The bomb for the easy life!
Honey?
Darling.
I've got something I want to talk to you about.
Al.
This is Mr. Jones. He's a private detective that Ruth's hired to find Lester.
Mr. Woods?
Sir?
This is my associate, Jedediah Jones.
Hi.
Excuse me.
Sure. Oh, we've been admiring your renderings. Your wife tells me that you're an architect with Carl Upjohn Associates.
I'm still a long way from concrete and steel. I do mostly detail work. Won't you sit down?
Surely.
Then, what can I do for you?
I understand that you are Lester Schiller's closest friend. I thought you might be able to tell us where he is.
I haven't seen Lester in almost a week.
But you were supposed to meet him for dinner the night he disappeared.
That's right, but he never showed up.
How do you know that?
What?
How do you know that he never showed up? According to his wife, you were working late that night and you never got to the restaurant yourself.
I tried to call there several times to tell him, and, well, he never answered the page, so I just assumed.
Yeah, I see.
Look, did you try the health club? I mean, that's where he said he was going first.
Hocus pocus time. That's what the manager of the health club calls it when a man tells his wife he's working out, but he's really out playing. But Lester never went to the health club that night. In fact, he hasn't been there in a month.
It brings me to a question. Was he seeing another woman?
Lester? Are you kidding?
Yes, he was.
Jan.
Well, if it's going to help find him. We went to a party about a month ago at the beach. Ruth and Lester were there, and we were all introduced to this very pretty girl named Melinda. About 2 weeks later, Hal and I were out for dinner, and we saw Lester and Melinda sitting in the back of the bar. They didn't see us. They were too busy seeing each other.
Miss Melinda, do you happen to know her last name?
Marks. Melinda Marks. She said she was studying to be an actress.
Do you know her address?
No.
Well, if she's an aspiring young actress, I'm sure she won't be difficult to locate. Thank you very much for your help.
Pleasure.
You told him about Lester and Melinda?
Janet told him I couldn't stop her. Raj, what are we going to do?
We're gonna break into that vault.
What about Jones?
Al, you just get Janet to sign the mortgage paper. I'll take care of Jones.
Yes, who is it?
Miss Marks?
Yes?
Barnaby Jones. Like to talk to you a minute?
1 minute, I'm on the phone. Lester, I better hang up. There's someone at the door. It's just that it's so sudden. I need time to think about it. Look, darling, give me the number of where I can reach you. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Yes, I promise. Lester, I love you. Goodbye. Yes?
Miss Marks, I'm Barnaby Jones, private investigator. This is my associate, Jedediah Jones. I wonder if you could help us.
Come on in. What's this all about?
Well, in a way, it's about your phone conversation. We're not eavesdroppers, but we had no trouble in hearing you through these jerry-built walls. You were talking with someone named Lester Schiller?
No. Lester Grant. Oh, I'm afraid you've got me mixed up with somebody else. I don't know anybody by the name of, what was it, Schiller?
Schiller.
Come on, Melinda. You met him at a party with Janet and Albert Woods. Later on, you were seen out with him.
Did his wife hire you?
She is very worried.
Look, the last thing I wanted was to get involved with a married man. It just happened. We fell in love. He said he was going to ask for a divorce, but he never got the nerve.
Instead, he ran away.
And now he wants me to join him.
Where is he?
He wouldn't tell me. He just said that he flew back east somewhere and he'd be moving around a lot and he'd call me.
Well, at least we know that he's well. If you should happen to hear from him again, would you please give him my phone number and ask him to call me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for your help.
Who said there'll never be another Sarah Bernhardt?
All right, what's this really all about? Where's Lester?
Good old Lester, yes. He's on assignment.
What kind of assignment?
Top secret. But I'm sure that as soon as he returns, he'll express his appreciation by making an honest woman out of you.
Well, he'd better, because I'm really getting sick of listening to all his promises.
Huh? What sort of promises?
About getting his hands on a lot of money to pay for the divorce. What else?
Did he say how he was going to get the money?
Said he was going into business with you and Albert.
Did he mention what kind of business?
No. But I've been putting two and two together, and they add up to something not exactly legal.
And here I thought you were just another pretty face.
I like watching you brush your hair.
Maybe that's why I like to do it.
Jan?
Al, I'm afraid. This house is all we have, and if we borrow against it, we could lose it.
Honey, that's not gonna happen. I know what I'm doing.
Darling, it's not you I'm worried about. It's Roger. You know how he's always getting these quick money schemes, and he's always losing money. Other people's money.
This is not a scheme. It's the import-export business.
There's so many of those already.
Yeah, but they don't have Roger's connections. Honey, you know how he gets around. He knows everybody.
I wish I had your confidence.
I wish you had faith in me.
Darling, I do.
No, I mean like when we first began dating. You remember, Jan? Do you? I mean, wow, what a year that was, huh? We were #1. I led them all the way to the championship. And you were the prettiest princess in the Queen's court. Remember, Jan, you said I would become the world's greatest architect.
I still believe that.
And what's happened, honey? Where are all the tall buildings, huh? Where are the dreams? The success?
It takes time.
Maybe I just haven't got it.
Al, I won't hear that.
Now, wait. Now, listen to me. Maybe I'm just a draftsman after all. I mean, maybe I left it out there on the campus somewhere.
I don't believe that.
You don't want to believe it. But what if it's the truth? What have I got to look forward to? I mean, I'm only 37, and this is all I'll ever be.
Darling, there is nothing wrong with what you are. And remember, we still have each other. We still love each other, don't we? I love you.
I love you. But, honey, I want something more. For the both of us. I want that chance to be a hero again. And I want you to be the homecoming queen.
Any indication of how long it's been here?
Well, I found the parking ticket. Front seat of the car. It's marked 12:45 on the night he disappeared.
Looks like he took the Red Eye Express. It's like this bumper collided with something.
Well, whatever it was, it sure was yellow.
Yeah. Wasn't a car, though.
How do you know that?
Well, it's by paint. Cars have a high gloss enamel. Anything unusual inside?
Take a look for yourself. You see the seat covers? The top one here's missing.
Yeah. Whoever tore it out didn't have any regard for neatness. Maybe he just didn't want somebody to see something that was on it.
You think it's blood?
I don't know yet. Have to run some tests.
Call the insurance company that Lester used to work for.
You think it's his?
It's a possibility. See if they have a record of his blood type. Call Mrs. Schiller. Ask her about the seat cover.
Anything else?
Yeah, might as well touch all the bases. Ask her about the dent in the bumper.
Thank you.
This one is a 6-carat marquise. It's a perfect stone.
We're in business.
You signed the lease?
I did everything but join the Better Business Bureau. We can come and go as we please. Got it all mapped out, sport?
I designed this place, remember? Want to look around?
If I once saw Jimmy Cagney dig his way out of prison like this.
I only hope we're not digging our way in.
What's wrong?
The end of the rainbow. Raj?
What?
Ventilation pipe.
Sport. We're gonna be rich. I mean rich.
Barnaby.
Blood, all right. What did you find out about Lester's blood type?
Be positive.
It's the same thing I've got here. It's from the back seat of the car.
I also found out from Mrs. Schiller there was a seat cover on when she drove the car earlier that day, and there wasn't a dent anywhere.
It's very interesting.
Barnaby Jones' office?
Means it happened after Lester took the car that night.
Okay, yeah, sure, I'll tell him. Thanks for your help.
Betty, I have a feeling that our runaway husband isn't running anymore.
Barnaby, that was the police lab. They analyzed the yellow paint you found on Lester's car. They said it's a commercial type that the city uses to paint everything from road building equipment to street signs and fire hydrants.
Betty, call the Department of Public Works. See if they have any report of damage to any of their equipment the night Lester disappeared.
I'll get right on it.
Jedediah, I think it's time that we gave Melinda another audition.
Okay.
Want me to take over? When have you ever worked with your hands?
Please, sport. I fix a great martini. How much longer before we get to the vault?
A couple of hours. Are you sure that exchange closes at noon on Saturday?
Of course I'm sure. As soon as they leave, we can take our time getting into the vault.
Well, look, there's nothing you can do to help me here. Why don't you go on home, get some rest? I can handle this.
You gonna stay here all night?
Yeah.
What'd you tell Janet?
That we had to drive to San Diego to look at some merchandise that was coming in from Hong Kong.
You're getting to be as good a liar as I am.
Yeah. That's what bothers me.
Mr. Jones.
Are you all right?
Yeah, sure, I'm fine. Oh! Oh, that shouting you heard in there. Oh, I was just rehearsing for a part in a play. I got it this afternoon.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. It's not a very big part, but my agent says it's a good showcase.
Well, the way I understand it, there are no small parts, just small actors. What's this going to do to your plans?
My plans?
To join Lester back east?
Oh. Well, my career comes first. Lester's just going to have to understand that.
Right now, Melinda, I don't think it's going to make much difference to Lester one way or the other.
What are you talking about?
I have a feeling Lester's dead.
Dead?
I have a further feeling that it wasn't Lester you were talking to on the phone the other night.
I was too.
Look, maybe you just thought it was Lester. Maybe it was somebody imitating his voice. It's possible, isn't it?
No, it was Lester. I'm sure of it. Now, I want you two to get out of here.
Melinda, this is going a long way beyond play acting. Now, if Lester is dead, and you know anything about it, that makes you an accessory. Is it the way you want it? Who are you trying to protect?
I am not trying to protect anyone. Lester is alive. I talked to him on the phone. That's all I know. Now, please go.
You know, Melinda, you may in time become a very good actress, but won't it be a shame that nobody will be able to come to see you perform?
Roger? Roger. Roger. Roger, wake up.
What time is it?
7:30. Roger, I've got to talk to you.
Oh, before or after?
This is serious. Roger, that Detective Jones came to see me last night
He did. And what did he want?
to invite me to a funeral. Lester's. He said he had a feeling Lester was dead.
Melinda, beautiful Melinda, would you take my word for it? Lester is very much alive. In fact, you're going to be seeing him tonight.
See him where?
Oh, a little party that I'm giving to celebrate our business venture and to split the profits. The way I figure it, your share, you and Lester, should come close to $100,000.
$100,000.
That should pay for his divorce and send both of you off into the sunset with a nice little nest egg, huh? Yeah. So, you think you can be ready around 8 o'clock tonight?
With bells on.
Good. I'll give you a call, tell you where to meet us. What else did this Jones have to say?
He didn't believe I was talking to Lester on the phone that night. And he also thought I was trying to protect someone.
Did he say who?
No, he was fishing.
And what did you say?
I told him he was wrong.
That's a good girl.
Roger, what time did you say you were going to call me this evening?
Around 8.
Where from? Over the pole on your way to Europe?
That's right, Melinda. As you can see, it's a one-way ticket, and I'm leaving at 6 o'clock.
Then it was all a lie. Everything you said. Lester never went away. He's dead, isn't he?
Oh, was he ever really alive?
Oh, my God. And you were going to leave me here to deal with Jones and the police?
I'm sure you can talk your way out of it. You have a whole world of people you can use. I've used all mine. I've got to make it on my own now.
Well, you're not going to make it with my help. You're not going to use me the way you did the others.
Melinda, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you feel that way. I was hoping that we meant more to each other than this.
understand your fire hydrant got knocked off the other night. How'd it happen?
If you mean did I see who hit it, the answer is no, but I've got some suspicions.
What kind of suspicion?
Well, since it happened a short time after the break-in, and since the thieves left in such a hurry, I figure they might be the ones.
Had a break-in that night?
3 of them. Caught them myself, up on the 2nd floor where they keep all the installation plans. Wounded one of them, but they managed to get away.
They take anything?
We went through those filing cabinets with a fine-tooth comb. Not a single set of plans was missing.
Could they have photographed one of them?
We thought of that, but there was no way of telling for sure.
You get a good look at them?
Like I told the police, it was dark.
Look familiar?
Darn if it don't look like the one I shot. Sure wouldn't want to swear to it, though.
Now, I wonder if we could take a look upstairs.
You have to speak to Mr. Keller about that, right in the main building.
Thank you very much.
Five more minutes and we'll have the place to ourselves. What is it?
There's an electrical box in here that is not on the blueprint.
So what?
Oh, my God.
What's wrong?
Take a look.
What is that?
High-intensity light beams. Break any one of them and it sets off the alarm.
Well, why haven't we seen them before?
Because we never looked at the vault with the door closed before. That's what activates them.
Well, why weren't they on the plans?
Because they were installed by a different company.
Well, can't you cut some wires or neutralize it in some way?
Not as long as the door is closed. Any interruption of the circuit, the alarm goes.
Wait a second. Al, what if the door were open?
Well, there might be a chance I could bypass the alarm signal.
Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Raj, it's just a chance. And if I'm wrong and she closes that door again, we're dead.
What are we now, sport?
Well, any idea where you want to start, Mr. Jones?
Let's start with a hunch. You do any work for Carl Upjohn Associates?
Sure, they're one of our best customers. These are their files over here.
Which one?
All of them.
I was afraid of that.
No, we're closed.
It won't take a minute.
Yes.
My name is Oliver Clayton. Oliver Clayton, import-export. I just rented the office up the hall. And you're,
Lillian Stanhope.
Miss Stanhope. I just received a call from a client of mine in Toronto asking me if I could locate a 10-carat emerald-cut diamond. And I thought you might have one?
Yes, well, we have several. If you'd like to come in on Monday.
No, I'm afraid that would be too late. I told him I'd let him know today.
Well, tell him yes. Now, if you're concerned about the quality, I assure you that...
No. I'm sure that it's perfect, but since he's a very good client, before giving my word, I felt I should at least take a look at it myself. Well, of course, the transaction would be in cash, and as for a receipt...
Come in. Please sit down.
Thank you. Have you got a loop?
Oh, of course.
Thank you. Oh, yes, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
How much does it cost?
$75,000.
All right, that's fine. I tell you what, I'll get in touch with my client and I'll let you know first thing Monday morning.
Fine.
Unless I could let you know at dinner tonight.
Well, it just so happens I'm free.
May I have your address?
It's 2721 Arabelle Drive, apartment 3, ground floor.
So, I'll see you then around 8?
Fine.
Oh, Barnaby, isn't it possible that we could be on the wrong track with this? I mean, even if Woods is an architect.
Great Pacific Building.
What?
You know, of all the buildings that Upjohn designed, looks like this one houses the crown jewels. Continental Diamond Exchange.
Mr. Johns, that vault's foolproof, even with the plans.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Betty, call Jedediah. Tell him to meet me at the Great Pacific Building.
Shall I notify the police?
No. In case I'm on the wrong track, I don't want to be towing the super chief.
Here. You still think I'm crazy?
Building closed at noon on Saturday, Mr. Jones.
All the tenants left the building?
Most of them. I still think you're just wasting your time. Anyone try to get into that diamond exchange, we'd know about it.
Let's go.
Satisfied?
Where does that vent go?
That runs across the whole ceiling.
Are any of the other tenants on this floor right now?
Yeah, the new guy that moved in the other day. I saw him come in early this morning. I don't think he ever left.
What does he look like?
About 6 foot, brown hair, nice looking.
Has he got a partner?
Yeah, about 6'2", built like an athlete.
What room do they occupy?
1215, right around the corner.
Do me a favor. Take a look in that vent.
Come on, let's go.
It's time to go on business for yourself.
That's far enough, Jones. Don't just stand there. Get his gun. Move it! Okay, Jones, let's go. Get the elevator.
By now, I figure this building is surrounded by police.
For your sake, Jones, I hope you figure wrong.
What are we going to do with him?
What do you think?
Raj.
Just get behind the wheel and drive.
I wouldn't do that. Might be the biggest mistake of your life.
Well, we gave it a try, huh, sport? Fourth down, seconds to go. We went for the bomb.
Yeah. Just one thing, Raj. We're not in college anymore. Mr. Jones? My wife is expecting me home soon. And I'd rather she didn't hear about this from the police.
Well, if you like, I'll go by and tell her myself.
Thanks.
Where'd you learn to drive, Jedediah?
Well, now... Oh, you taught me, Barnaby. Remember when you came to visit Chicago a couple of summers back?
Ah, yeah. Well, that just proves there's no substitute for good training.
A Quinn Martin production starring Buddy Epson, also starring Lee Merriweather, Mark Shera, with guest stars Don Johnson, Nancy Wolfe, Edward Walsh, Christina Hart, Betty Ackerman, Victor Mojica. Tonight's episode, Renegade's Child. The warmth of the afternoon sun filtered through the dusty windows of the military outpost, where two soldiers stood near the barracks, their conversation carrying the easy camaraderie of men who had shared many miles on the road. One of them turned to his companion with a wide, content smile, gesturing with his hands as he shared his thoughts on the future. He suggested that his friend should follow his example and do exactly as he did. He announced with a sense of pride that he was re-enlisting, having just received his first official stitches up on his sleeve. His companion looked at him with mild surprise, raised an eyebrow, and asked if he was truly planning to become a 30-year man. The first soldier nodded without hesitation and asked why not, explaining with a soft chuckle that this man's arm and the structure of the military was quite literally the only steady job he had ever managed to hold in his entire life. Their laughter was cut short as they returned to their duties, unaware of the shadow that was about to fall upon the quiet highway just a few miles away. On a secluded stretch of the road near Aliso Canyon, a large transport truck bearing the number 411 was cruising steadily under the clear sky. Inside the cabin, the driver was navigating the winding turns when suddenly a dark sedan accelerated past them, forcing the massive vehicle toward the shoulder of the road. The driver leaned out, shouting into the wind, telling the other vehicle to move along because he was giving them the whole road to pass, asking if they understood his signal. The reply came not in words, but in the sharp screech of tires as the sedan swerved directly into their path, forcing the transport truck to a grinding halt. Two masked figures leaped from the car, their faces obscured, gesturing menacingly. One of the hijackers barked an order, telling the driver to get out immediately and face the opposite way, warning them that if they turned around, they would be shot without hesitation. He muttered to his partner that this haul was going to be like finding money left on a bench, easy and highly valuable. The driver, filled with a sudden surge of bravery, attempted to resist, but the larger hijacker shoved him back, cursing under his breath and telling him not to try to be a hero. In the chaos of the struggle, the driver managed to reach for his radio receiver, shouting into the static that this was Transport 411 and they were actively being hijacked near Aliso Canyon. A sharp scuffle ensued, a sudden sound echoed through the canyon, and the radio went completely dead. The woman standing near the sedan, whose name was Amanda, gasped in horror as she looked at the motionless form of the guard. She turned toward the leader of the group, her voice trembling with shock and betrayal, crying out that Wayne had promised her nobody was going to get hurt during this operation. Wayne, his expression hardened under his disguise, ignored her protests and urged the group to start moving quickly. His companion, Pete, looked at the remaining crates in the back of the transport and asked about the rest of the guns they were supposed to take. Wayne shook his head, stating that if the driver had successfully gotten through to anybody on that radio before it broke, the entire place would be swarming with authorities in a matter of minutes. He ordered Pete to take what they had and meet back at the designated place. Amanda, standing frozen by the side of the road, called out to Wayne, asking what was going to happen to her. Wayne looked back briefly, reassuring her that nothing had changed for her, reminding her that their faces were completely covered and she did not see what vehicle they were driving, so she was perfectly safe from suspicion. The highway authorities responded with incredible speed, setting up a strict roadblock just a few miles down the main thoroughfare. Inside their getaway van, Wayne guided the vehicle toward the flashing lights, keeping his composure despite the tension thick in the air. Pete muttered from the passenger seat that they would have been long gone by now if they had not been forced to make that foolish stop at the motel earlier. Wayne told him to shut up instantly as a state officer approached the driver's side window. The officer saluted politely and requested to see their identification. Wayne leaned out with a practiced, easygoing smile, asking the officer what was happening on the road today. The officer explained that there had been a major robbery in the area and asked if he could have a brief look in the back of the vehicle. Wayne nodded smoothly, mentioning that the little kid in the back had a severe cold, so he requested the officer not to wake him up, if possible. Amanda simulated a tired, worried, motherly expression, adding that they were completely pooped out from being up all night nursing the sick child. The officer looked into the back, saw the sleeping form of young Jody, and offered his apologies for bothering the folks, waving them through the checkpoint. As they drove away into the safety of the highway, Pete let out a long breath, remarking that it felt much better to be past the danger, though he could not help but call Amanda a dumbbell for her behavior. Amanda fired back, calling him a genius ironically and stating she ought to break his head for his attitude, demanding to know what the matter was now. She argued that he was supposed to tell the people at the motel to keep Jody out of the swimming pool, and now the poor child's cold was significantly worse. She lamented that when it came to her taking care of this kid, she could never seem to do anything right in Wayne's eyes. Meanwhile, in a quiet, professional office building in the city, an elderly gentleman named Barnaby Jones was reviewing some documents. He looked up with a warm smile as a middle-aged lady entered the room. He welcomed her, telling her that the paperwork would be out in just a single minute. The lady, Mrs. Nesbit, sighed softly and remarked that she could not believe there was even more red tape involved in this process. Barnaby chuckled gently, acknowledging her frustration and stating that it was often just as difficult to check someone out of the prison system on parole as it was to get them into it in the first place. He turned toward the inner office and introduced her to his new associate in law, a sharp and energetic young man named J.R. Jones, referring to him fondly as Chicago's latest answer to the legal profession. J.R. stepped forward, shaking her hand warmly and asking how she was doing. Mrs. Nesbit, her eyes filled with a mixture of anxiety and hope, asked if her daughter Julie knew that she was currently there to receive her. Barnaby reassured her, saying that Julie was practically born to be over this hurdle and that everything was going to be just fine. Mrs. Nesbit sat down, her voice filled with emotion as she recalled that it had been 7 long years since Julie ran away from home with her companion. She explained that she had spent 7 agonizing years trying to find her daughter. J.R. asked gently if Julie had ever phoned or written a single letter during all that time. Mrs. Nesbit shook her head sadly, explaining that sometimes there would only be a brief postcard from places like Taos or a remote commune located in Arizona, describing how her daughter had been living like a nomad with that strange young man, Wayne Lockwood. She confessed that she did not even know they had been blessed with a child until young Jody was almost a year old. Barnaby nodded understandingly, stating that trying to get a solid line of information on Wayne Lockwood over the past several months had been next to impossible for his investigative agency. Mrs. Nesbit expressed her anger, noting that the man had robbed a supermarket and then simply ran off, leaving Julie to face the police and be arrested all by herself. She wondered aloud how any man could do such a terrible thing to someone he claimed to love. The door to the inner office opened, and Julie stepped out, looking hesitant but incredibly beautiful in her new attire. Barnaby smiled warmly, observing that the toughest part of making up after a long separation was always that very first howdy. Mrs. Nesbit stood up, her eyes welling with tears as she called out her daughter's name. Julie walked into her mother's embrace, thanking her softly for sending over the new clothes. She asked if they fit all right, noting that she had not changed very much over the years, except perhaps for the fact that she had finally grown up a little bit. Mrs. Nesbit wept softly, stating that she had grown up as well during all these long years of separation. Julie looked down, explaining that she knew she had to give her mother's home address to the authorities because the parole board strictly required a stable residence for her release. Mrs. Nesbit immediately interrupted her, telling her that if she would like to stay a while, her home was completely open. Julie smiled through her tears, saying that she just wanted to come home more than anything else in the world. Barnaby watched the tender reunion, leaning over to JR to whisper a bit of classic wisdom, noting that for emotional times like these, a wise man should always carry an extra supply of clean handkerchiefs in his pocket. Later that afternoon, the group gathered around a large wooden desk to discuss the next steps in reuniting the rest of the family. Julie mentioned that she had seen pictures of them on a horse named Marshmallow, to which JR responded with an encouraging smile. Mrs. Nesbit turned to the two investigators, expressing that she truly did not know how to thank them all for successfully finding Julie and bringing her back. JR smiled modestly, reminding her that since they had only managed to bring together a single part of the family so far, she should probably save a portion of her thanks until they successfully located her little grandson, Jody. Julie looked worried, asking if there was still absolutely no trace of her son anywhere. Barnaby stroked his chin thoughtfully, explaining that they believed they finally had a solid place to start their search based on the records of Wayne Lockwood. He turned to JR and asked if he had brought the photographic blow-ups from the laboratory. JR pulled a large envelope from his briefcase, confirming that he had made a dozen high-quality prints, selecting the absolute best of them to display on the table. Barnaby asked Julie if she could recall exactly when this specific photograph of Wayne's pickup truck was taken. Julie examined the image, estimating that it was taken about 18 or 19 months ago, well before the supermarket robbery and her subsequent arrest. She asked why the photograph was so important to their current efforts. Barnaby explained that they thought they might be able to trace Lockwood's current whereabouts through the vehicle's license plate registration. He noted that with only the numbers partially visible in the old photo, the Department of Motor Vehicles could not possibly come up with a current or valid address for the owner. He urged Julie to try very hard to look into her memory and see if she could recall the specific letters that preceded the numbers on that license plate. Julie closed her eyes, concentrating deeply as she thought back to their travels. She remembered that they had experienced such incredibly tough luck with that particular truck that she had jokingly figured the license plates summarized their entire lives. She looked up with a flash of recognition, stating that the letters spelled out the word Jinx, written precisely as JNX. In a bustling commercial district on the other side of town, a man named Griff was sitting in the back office of Markham Imports, surrounded by crates of various imported goods. The telephone on his desk rang sharply, and he picked it up, identifying his business. On the other end of the line, Wayne Lockwood spoke into a public payphone, identifying himself. Griff's face lit up with a smooth, opportunistic smile as he greeted his old buddy, asking how things were going with him. Wayne bypassed the pleasantries, stating that he was calling about the specific military merchandise they had discussed and asking if Griff was ready to talk some serious business. Griff chuckled, asserting that business was practically his native tongue, and asked when they could meet to finalize the details. Wayne suggested meeting in about an hour at the local public park. Griff agreed readily, promising to see him there without fail. Wayne hung up the phone and turned to his associate, Roy, who was waiting nearby. Wayne asked Roy if he had ever personally met Lockwood in the past. Roy shook his head, confirming that he did not know him. Wayne nodded, stating that it was very good for their security, and instructed Roy to stay completely out of the upcoming meeting for the time being. Wayne explained that he was meeting Griff at the park in about an hour, and after the business was concluded, they could finally get some tacos or something to eat because he was absolutely starving. He promised to see Roy later and walked back toward his parked van. Inside the van, Amanda was tending to young Jody, who was coughing slightly in his sleep. She looked up as Wayne opened the door, telling him that Jody desperately needed some proper medicine for his severe cold. She suggested that he drop the two of them off at the local medical clinic first before he went to his business meeting. Wayne climbed into the driver's seat, dismissively stating that he had already given the boy one of those mild tranquilizers that he had lifted from the drugstore during their brief stop in Palmdale, assuring her that the child was perfectly fine and resting. Amanda's eyes widened with sudden fury and horror. She grabbed Wayne by the shoulder, demanding to know if he had truly given a small child a strong tranquilizer meant for adults. Wayne defended himself, arguing that she was the one who kept complaining that the boy needed some solid rest. Amanda's voice dropped to a fierce, dangerous whisper as she warned him that if he ever gave that child medicine like that again, she would absolutely kill him, asking if he understood her words clearly. At the private investigative office, JR was reviewing the newly developed photographs of Julie from her earlier years in the commune. Julie walked into the room, looking over his shoulder at the image of a carefree young girl with blossoms woven into her hair. She remarked softly that it was like looking at a ghost of herself from 7 years ago, remembering the flowers and the entire beautiful dream they shared. She recalled how they genuinely believed they were going to make the entire world look as beautiful and pure as a colorful label on a bottle of herbal-scented shampoo. Barnaby looked up from his desk with a gentle, compassionate expression, observing that it often takes some of the young people a very long time to find their way back to reality after wandering through such illusions. He added that one has to watch out carefully so they do not become completely cynical about the world during that journey. Julie nodded sadly, stating that Wayne had unfortunately done exactly that, allowed himself to become bitter, which eventually led him to graduate from petty little store rip-offs to dangerous armed robbery. A short time later, Barnaby Jones tracked down the registration of the pickup truck to a small automotive repair shop on the outskirts of Venice. He walked into the garage alongside Julie, where a mechanic was working under the hood of a vehicle. Barnaby called out, asking if he was the gentleman who was asking for him based on the registration records. The mechanic wiped his grease-stained hands on a cloth and confirmed that he was indeed Cy Rogers, the man whose name was listed at the Department of Motor Vehicles as the owner of the pickup truck parked out in the front lot. Barnaby introduced himself as a private investigator and introduced Julie Nesbitt. Cy Rogers looked closely at Julie, his face softening with recognition as he realized she was Lockwood's old lady from the old days at the desert commune. Julie stepped forward urgently, asking Cy if Jody was with Wayne the last time he saw him. Cy nodded enthusiastically, recalling that Jody was a neat little kid, absolutely great to be around, though he admitted he had not personally seen either of them in over a year and a half. Barnaby inquired if Cy had any idea where Wayne might be located at the present moment. Cy shrugged, stating that Wayne was always drifting around from place to place, but mentioned that he heard from someone who claimed to have seen Wayne over in the Venice Beach area maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Barnaby asked specifically who had given him that piece of information. Cy thought for a moment, recalling that it must have been Rudy Bates, the photographer, who was always carrying a camera and clicking pictures of everything. Cy laughed gently, noting that nobody among their old group had gone completely straight quite like Rudy, who was now earning his daily cheesecake by taking professional photographs for various commercial advertisements. Barnaby asked if Cy knew exactly where Rudy's studio was located. Cy replied that Rudy moved around to different places depending on the advertising agency that hired him, but confessed he did not know the exact corporate name. Barnaby smiled warmly, thanking him and stating that they could probably locate the photographer with a couple of quick phone calls. They said their goodbyes and departed. While Barnaby and Julie were tracking down leads, Wayne Lockwood was meeting with Griff in a secluded, shaded area of the public park. Wayne opened the trunk of his vehicle slightly, showing Griff the heavy military hardware they had taken from the transport truck. He announced that he had 36 of these heavyweight firearms and 3 full cases of high-powered M16 rifles. Griff calculated the numbers quickly in his head, repeating that 36 weapons and 3 crates made for a substantial haul. He offered Wayne a total of $3,500 for the entire lot. Wayne scoffed loudly at the low offer, reminding Griff that they were supposed to be friends and demanding a flat $4,000 for the merchandise, asking if Griff thought he was completely ignorant of what this gear actually commanded at retail value on the black market. Griff leaned in closer, his voice dropping as he reminded Wayne that according to the morning news reports, Wayne had blown up a regular soldier to secure this shipment. He argued that this extreme circumstance heavily tainted the merchandise, making it significantly tougher to turn over safely to a buyer, which justified the lower price. Wayne reached for the handle of the crate, angrily telling him not to buy it then, turning to leave. Griff quickly caught his arm, telling him to wait and sit down, asking who had said anything about not buying the weapons. Wayne retorted that insulting him with an offer of $4,000 was exactly the same as refusing to buy it. Griff apologized smoothly, admitting he had insulted his intelligence, and raised his offer to a total of $5,000. Wayne nodded, satisfied for the moment, and agreed to deliver the crates to the usual secluded location in Chatsworth. Griff checked his watch, noting that it was currently 2 minutes after 1 o'clock, and suggested they meet at 3 o'clock sharp to conclude the transaction. As Wayne walked back toward his van, he was surprised to see young Jody standing by the rear door, holding Amanda's hand. Wayne kneeled down, asking Jody what he was doing out here when he had explicitly told them to wait for him at the medical clinic. Amanda intervened, explaining that Jody was feeling much better, so they decided to skip the crowded clinic entirely. Wayne's temper flared as he reminded her that when he tells her to do something, he expects it to be followed, stating that he refuses to take any unnecessary chances with his child. Amanda tried to soothe him, arguing that Jody did not have a real cold and simply had the brief morning sniffles, noting that the clinic was completely jammed with all sorts of sick people anyway. Jody looked up at his father, pulling on his sleeve and saying that he was very hungry, asking if he could please have a fresh hamburger. Wayne's expression softened instantly as he looked at his son, asking him if he truly wanted a hamburger, some hot French fries, and perhaps a sweet vanilla malt to go along with it. Jody smiled brightly, exclaiming with joy, and Wayne led them toward a nearby diner. Across town at a trendy beachside photo studio in Venice, Rudy Bates was in the middle of a high-fashion photo shoot. He was directing a blonde model, telling her that when they roll the cameras this time, he wanted her to remember the core concept of the advertisement, which was that even individuals living as far away as Eskimos love to eat fresh bananas. The model smiled beautifully as Rudy captured the images, commenting on how incredibly far they had all come from the days of the old commune they used to crash at during their youth. Rudy agreed, telling her not to leave that beautiful smile in the dressing room. He called out to his assistant, Paul, asking him to let him know the exact moment the automated ice machine was ready for the next set of photographs. Barnaby Jones walked into the studio just as the shoot was wrapping up. Rudy welcomed him, offering him a fresh cup of hot coffee. Barnaby thanked him politely, asking if he happened to have any fresh milk to go with it. Rudy checked a small refrigerator, confirming they did, and asked Barnaby about his investigation into Wayne Lockwood, wanting to know where Barnaby had heard that he had seen him. Barnaby explained that according to Cy Rogers, Rudy had run into Wayne in the Venice area about 2 or 3 months prior. Rudy poured the milk, recalling that he had indeed been shooting a commercial campaign out on the beach around that time, and had only spoken to Wayne for a minute or two, admitting he had absolutely no idea where the man might be living now. Barnaby asked if there was any other mutual acquaintance from the old days who might possess knowledge of Wayne's current location. Rudy thought for a moment and suggested a man named Leo Shinsun, whom they used to know from the street. Julie's face brightened as she remembered Leo, recalling how he used to give her fun rides on the back of his motorcycle during their time at the commune. She asked Rudy if he had any inkling of where they might find Leo today, wondering if he was living with his parents or perhaps a girlfriend. Rudy admitted he was never exceptionally close to Leo, but recalled that Leo used to occasionally crash at his father's house when he was out of funds. Barnaby inquired if Rudy happened to know the father's full name. Rudy shook his head, but offered a vital clue, remembering that Leo once mentioned his father worked out of the Los Angeles area as a shack for the transport companies. Barnaby smiled, his eyes twinkling as he remarked that if he could fall back on his extensive past railroading experience, a shack was the traditional slang term for a railroad worker who was placed in charge of the freight cars and the operations of a freight train. Guided by this information, J.R. Jones returned to the central office to cross-reference the railroad union databases. He found Barnaby preparing to leave and informed him that he had looked up the records. He explained that if there was indeed another individual named Shin-sun currently living in Los Angeles and working for the major railroad companies, the local railroad union certainly had no record of him, meaning they had found their specific target location up on Candlefoot Road. Located just off the high top of Topanga Canyon, near a popular old hippie restaurant. Barnaby agreed that it sounded like the perfect place to check out. He looked at JR and asked playfully if the young man did not have some serious legal studying to do for his upcoming career. JR laughed, admitting he did, but noted he had to earn his keep around the investigative agency. Barnaby decided to test his knowledge, asking him whether it was a felony or a misdemeanor in the state of California to intentionally drive a heavy metal nail into a saw log that was intended for commercial lumber. JR guessed that it was a simple misdemeanor. Barnaby corrected him firmly, stating it was an absolute felony under Penal Code Section 593A. He chuckled, noting that he always loved to use that specific obscure law whenever he felt a young lawyer needed to be brought down a peg or two. The evening sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, dramatic shadows across the rugged California landscape. This was a world where choices defined a man, and for those who walked the thin line between right and wrong, every crossroads was fraught with uncertainty. In the heart of the city and stretching out into the dusty canyons, a human drama was unfolding, one that would touch the lives of a desperate father, a searching mother, and a little boy caught in the middle of a dangerous game. At a quiet roadside stop, two men in military uniforms stood talking near a heavy transport vehicle. One of them, a seasoned veteran with graying hair, looked at his companion with a mixture of pride and weariness. He spoke of his decision to sign up for another term of service, expressing a sentiment that many who spent their lives in uniform shared. He explained that he was re-enlisting with his first stitches up, choosing the stability of 30 years in the military. To him, the steady arm of the service was the only reliable job he had ever known. His companion listened, offering a brief acknowledgement, understanding the comfort that structure could bring in an unpredictable world. Suddenly, the peaceful atmosphere vanished. A speeding vehicle veered across the pavement, cutting off the path of the transport truck. The driver of the rogue vehicle shouted out, demanding the entire road and ordering the men out of their transport. The situation escalated in a heartbeat. Armed men with covered faces emerged from the shadows, their intentions clear. They forced the two operators to face away, warning them that any sudden movement would be met with gunfire. For the thieves, this high-stakes heist was supposed to be easy money, as simple as picking up cash left on a bench. One of the transport operators, a brave man named Pete, refused to stand by and watch his cargo be stolen. He moved toward the radio inside the cabin, desperately trying to contact base. He spoke into the receiver, identifying the vehicle as Transport 411 and reporting that they were being hijacked near Aliso Canyon. But his bravery came at a severe cost. A sudden shot echoed through the canyon, and Pete slumped over the dashboard. The leader of the raiders, a young man named Wayne Lockwood, stared in shock at what his accomplice had done. He turned to the shooter, his voice filled with sudden dread, reminding him that he had promised nobody would get hurt. The accomplice, callous and focused only on the stolen goods, brushed off the complaint and urged everyone to start moving. They had successfully taken a significant portion of the heavy weaponry, but the radio transmission meant the authorities would soon be swarming the area. They decided to leave the remaining guns behind and retreat to a safe location, planning to meet back at their designated hideout. Wayne turned to another associate who was standing by the getaway vehicle. The associate asked if anything had changed for him, feeling vulnerable after the unexpected violence. Wayne assured him that everything remained the same, noting that their faces were covered and no one could identify their vehicle. They needed to play their parts correctly, knowing the lyrics to the script they had written for themselves. The escape, however, was far from smooth. Within a short time, the sound of sirens and the flashing of lights signaled that the police had established a roadblock. The thieves grumbled in the front seat, realizing they would have been long gone if they had not made an unfortunate stop at a local motel. The driver told his partner to shut up as a law enforcement officer approached the window, requesting identification. Wayne put on his best casual smile, asking the officer what was happening. The officer explained that there had been a recent robbery and asked to take a look in the back of the van. Wayne quickly deflected, mentioning that his young son in the back had a terrible cold and requested that they not wake him up. Amanda, the young woman sitting in the passenger seat, played along, sighing that they were completely exhausted after staying up all night nursing the sick child. The officer, feeling sympathetic to the tired family, apologized for the bother and allowed them to pass through the checkpoint. Once they were clear of the police, the tension inside the vehicle remained thick. Amanda sighed with relief, remarking that she felt much better now that the danger had passed. Wayne, however, was furious. He called her a dumbbell, frustrated by her handling of the situation. Amanda snapped back, calling him bright and suggesting she ought to break his head. She questioned what the matter was now, arguing that she was supposed to tell the people at the motel to keep young Jody out of the swimming pool, which had only made his cold worse. She expressed her frustration, noting that when it came to his child, she could never seem to do anything right. Wayne merely sighed, watching the road ahead, knowing his son would be asleep for a while. Meanwhile, in a brighter, more orderly part of the city, a different kind of transition was taking place. Inside a government office, a woman named Mrs. Nesbit was waiting anxiously. An official walked in, apologizing for the red tape and noting that it seemed just as difficult to check someone out of a correctional institution as it was to get them in. He introduced Mrs. Nesbit to a sharp young man named J.R. Jones, describing him as Chicago's answer to the legal profession and their newest associate in law. Mrs. Nesbit, her hands trembling slightly, asked if her daughter knew she was there. J.R. smiled warmly, assuring her that everything was going to be just fine. It had been 7 long years since her daughter, Julie, had run away from home, embarking on a wandering lifestyle. Mrs. Nesbit recounted the painful years of searching, explaining that Julie had rarely made contact, save for an occasional postcard from Taos or a commune in Arizona. Julie had been living like a nomad with Wayne Lockwood, a strange young man whose choices had eventually led them to disaster. Mrs. Nesbit confessed that she had not even known about her grandson, Jody, until the boy was almost a year old. The official admitted that trying to get a solid lead on Wayne Lockwood had been next to impossible. It was no wonder, considering the man had robbed a supermarket and then fled, leaving Julie behind to take the blame and be arrested by the police. Mrs. Nesbit wondered aloud how a man could do that to someone he claimed to love. The door opened, and Julie stepped into the room. The atmosphere filled with a quiet, emotional gravity. J.R. observed that the toughest part of making up after so many years was that very first greeting. Mrs. Nesbit looked at her daughter, noting how nice she looked in the new clothes they had sent over. Julie smiled softly, touching her sleeve, stating that the clothes fit well and that she had not changed much over the years, except perhaps that she had grown up a little. Her mother agreed, shedding a tear, acknowledging that they both had grown during their long separation. Mrs. Nesbit gently reminded Julie that she knew the parole board required a stable address, and she offered her home as a permanent place to stay. Julie looked at her mother with eyes full of regret and longing, stating simply that she just wanted to come home. Seeing the touching reunion, the older official whispered to J.R. that for moments like these, a lawyer should always carry an extra supply of handkerchiefs. Later, at the law offices of Barnaby Jones, the private investigator, the family gathered to discuss the next steps. Mrs. Nesbit expressed her deep gratitude to J.R. and the team for finding Julie. J.R. accepted the thanks graciously, but reminded her that they had only brought together part of the family so far. He suggested saving some of the appreciation until they successfully located little Jody. Barnaby Jones, a wise and perceptive investigator with years of experience, asked if there was still no trace of the boy. JR explained that they had found a place to start and were actively searching for Lockwood. He asked his associate, Betty, if she had brought the photographic enlargements. Betty handed over a dozen clear prints, noting they were the best quality available. Barnaby studied the photograph, asking Julie if she recalled when the picture had been taken. Julie looked at the image, remembering that it was taken about 18 or 19 months ago, just before the robbery and her subsequent arrest. She asked why the photograph was so important. Barnaby explained that they hoped to trace Lockwood through the license plate of the pickup truck in the background. With only a portion of the numbers visible, the Department of Motor Vehicles could not provide a current address. He encouraged Julie to try very hard to recall the letters on the plate. Julie closed her eyes, thinking back to the difficult times they had experienced with that vehicle. A sudden memory sparked, and a smile touched her lips. She remembered that because they had experienced such tough luck with the truck, they had joked that the vehicle was cursed. She recalled that the license plate letters spelled out the word Jinx, written as JNX. Across town, in a commercial district, a man named Griff sat in his office at Markham Imports. The telephone rang, and he picked it up, hearing the voice of Wayne Lockwood on the other end. Wayne asked if Griff was available to talk about some specific merchandise, and if he was ready to conduct some serious business. Griff laughed, stating that business was his native tongue. They agreed to meet in an hour at a nearby public park to finalize the details. After hanging up, Griff turned to his associate, Roy, asking if he had ever met Lockwood. Roy shook his head, confirming he had no idea who the man was. Griff nodded, stating that it was better that way and instructing Roy to stay out of the situation for the time being. Griff planned to meet Wayne at the park to inspect the goods, after which they could grab some food. Meanwhile, Wayne's van was parked near a local medical clinic. Wayne looked at Amanda and his son, Jody, who was sitting quietly in the back. Wayne noted that Jody needed something to soothe his persistent cold and suggested dropping them off at the clinic first. Amanda protested, revealing that she had already given the boy one of the tranquilizers she had taken from a drugstore in Palmdale, claiming the child was perfectly fine and resting. Wayne's expression darkened with sudden, protective rage. He turned on Amanda, his voice trembling as he demanded to know if she had actually given his son a sedative. Amanda defended her actions, arguing that Wayne had insisted the boy needed rest. Wayne gripped the steering wheel, delivering a stern, absolute warning that if she ever did anything like that again, the consequences would be severe. He made sure she understood that his son's safety was paramount. Back at the investigative office, Barnaby Jones was reviewing old photographs of Julie from her youth. Julie looked over his shoulder, commenting that looking at the pictures was like looking at a ghost of herself from 7 years ago, complete with the flowers in her hair. She recalled a time when they believed they could make the world look as beautiful and pure as a label on a bottle of herbal-scented shampoo. Barnaby nodded with gentle understanding, observing that it often took young people a long time to find their way back to reality. He cautioned her to watch out so she would not become cynical, noting that Wayne had unfortunately taken that dark path when he graduated from petty thefts to armed robbery. A short time later, Barnaby and Julie tracked down a lead to a local garage. A man named Cy Rogers was working on a vehicle when they approached. Barnaby asked if he was the Cy Rogers listed as the registered owner of a certain pickup truck. Cy looked up suspiciously, asking what there was to investigate. Barnaby introduced himself as a private investigator and introduced Julie. Cy recognized Julie immediately, identifying her as Lockwood's old lady. Julie stepped forward, her voice filled with anxiety, asking if Jody had been with Wayne when Cy last saw them. Cy confirmed that the little kid had been there, describing him as a neat and great little fellow, though he admitted he had not seen them in over 1.5 years. When asked about Wayne's current whereabouts, Cy explained that Wayne was drifting and that the last he heard, someone had spotted him in Venice about 2 or 3 months ago. Barnaby pressed for a name, and Cy recalled that a man named Rudy Bates had seen him. Cy described Rudy as a photographer who was always taking pictures with his camera. Cy noted that Rudy had gone straight, unlike some of their old crowd, and was now earning his living shooting for an advertising agency, though he could not recall the specific name of the firm. Barnaby remained optimistic, stating they could likely locate the photographer with a few phone calls. Cy then mentioned another name, Leo Shentz, whom he described as Wayne's best friend. He suggested that Leo would definitely know exactly where Wayne and Jody were hiding. Julie recognized the name, remembering Leo as a friendly person who used to give her rides on his motorcycle. While the investigator was closing in, Wayne was meeting with Griff at a secluded location in Chatsworth. Wayne opened the back of his vehicle, displaying 36 heavy weapons and 3 cases of M16 rifles. Griff inspected the cargo, calculating the numbers, and offered $3,500 for the lot. Wayne scoffed at the offer, demanding $4,000 and reminding Griff that they were supposed to be friends and that the retail value was much higher. Griff countered, pointing out that according to the news reports, a soldier had been killed during the hijacking to obtain these weapons. He explained that such violent circumstances tainted the merchandise, making it significantly harder and more dangerous to resell. Wayne, refusing to compromise, began to close the crate, telling Griff not to buy it then. Griff quickly backtracked, urging Wayne to sit down and asking who had said anything about refusing to buy. Wayne replied that offering a mere $4,000 was insulting and amounted to the same thing. Griff apologized, raising his offer to $5,000. Wayne accepted, and they agreed to finalize the transaction at a designated spot in Chatsworth at 3 o'clock. As Wayne prepared to leave, the van door opened, and little Jody stepped out, coughing slightly. Wayne looked at his son, surprised, and asked what he was doing there, reminding him that he was supposed to wait at the clinic. Amanda stepped out behind the boy, explaining that Jody was feeling better, so they had bypassed the crowded clinic, adding that the boy merely had the morning sniffles rather than a severe cold. Wayne asserted his authority, stating that he refused to take any chances with his child. Jody looked up at his father, complaining that he was hungry and asking for a hamburger. Wayne's tone softened instantly. He smiled at his son, promising him a hamburger, some French fries, and a vanilla milkshake before they set off. At the advertising studio, Rudy Bates was directing a photo shoot. He instructed his models to maintain their energy, reminding them of the creative concept behind the campaign. He noticed Barnaby Jones entering the studio and stepped away from the set, offering the investigator a cup of coffee. Barnaby explained that he was looking for Wayne Lockwood and understood Rudy had seen him in Venice a few months prior. Rudy recalled the encounter, noting it had been a very brief conversation on the beach and that he did not know where Wayne might be living now. Barnaby then asked about Leo Shentz or Shunsun. Rudy remembered Leo, mentioning that he used to ride a motorcycle and believed Leo occasionally stayed at his father's house. Although Rudy did not know the father's full name, he remembered Leo mentioning that his father worked in Los Angeles as a shack for the railroad. Barnaby, drawing on his own knowledge of traditional professions, recognized that a shack was a classic term for a railroad worker in charge of freight cars. Back at a secluded cabin up on Candlefoot Road, near Topanga Canyon, Wayne was preparing for his next move. Leo Shunsun arrived on his motorcycle, rushing into the yard. He informed Wayne that a private detective had been asking questions about him around the city. Wayne was alarmed, but Leo clarified that the investigator was not a police officer. More importantly, Leo revealed that the detective was traveling with Julie. Wayne was stunned by the news that Julie had been released on parole. Leo added that she had a lawyer named Jones helping her locate Jody. Wayne pondered this revelation, realizing the stakes had suddenly become much higher. At the law office, Barnaby was gathering his coat, preparing to investigate the lead regarding the railroad worker named Shunsun. JR offered to accompany him, wanting to earn his keep. Barnaby playfully tested the young lawyer's knowledge, asking whether driving a nail into a saw log intended for lumber was a felony or a misdemeanor in the state of California. JR confidently guessed it was a misdemeanor, but Barnaby corrected him, noting it was a felony under Penal Code Section 593A. He remarked with a chuckle that he always used that obscure law when he felt a young attorney needed to be reminded of how much there was still to learn, advising JR to stay behind and focus on his studies for the bar exam. Back at the cabin, tragedy struck unexpectedly. A desperate individual searching for an illicit transaction arrived at the property, demanding money from Leo and his associates. The confrontation turned violent when the intruder pulled a weapon, demanding they empty their pockets. Despite Leo's protests that they had nothing of value, the intruder discovered a significant amount of cash. A struggle ensued, and a loud gunshot echoed through the trees. Wayne, who had been nearby, ran toward the sound and found Leo lying motionless on the ground. The shooter had fled with the money. Amanda panicked, realizing that 2 people had now died since this venture began, and they had absolutely nothing to show for it. Wayne, hardened by the crisis, ordered her to get Jody immediately so they could move out. Amanda, overwhelmed by the escalating danger, refused to cooperate any longer. She called Wayne a loser, declared that she was finished with the situation, and walked away down the hill, abandoning them. Barnaby Jones arrived in the area shortly after, speaking with an elderly neighbor named Ralph, who attended the same church as Leo's father. Ralph lamented the tragedy, describing the father as a good man but Leo as a troubled youth. He confirmed he had seen a young man and a little boy the previous day, and had just seen a blonde woman in distinctive clothing walking down the hill following the sound of gunfire. Barnaby drove down the mountain road and spotted Amanda walking along the shoulder. He pulled over and offered her a ride. Amanda accepted, assuming he was an ordinary driver. When Barnaby began to steer the car toward the local sheriff's office, Amanda became alarmed. Barnaby revealed his identity as a private investigator hired by Jody's mother. He explained that a witness had placed her at the scene of the shooting and that the authorities would want to know who was responsible for Leo's death. Amanda adamantly denied any involvement in the shooting, explaining that a robber had taken the money and killed Leo. She revealed that Wayne had fled in his van with Jody, though he had not told her his destination. Tapped out of funds, Wayne would desperately need money. Under questioning, Amanda admitted that Wayne had been dealing with a criminal fence named Griff who operated in the area. Armed with this information, Barnaby coordinated with the police. Lieutenant Biddle provided key background details on Griffith P. Markham, an individual suspected of trafficking stolen weapons to foreign markets and mercenary groups. The recent military transport hijacking fit Markham's profile perfectly. Barnaby devised a plan to masquerade as a wealthy mercenary colonel looking to purchase a large shipment of firearms, creating a believable background to draw Markham into the open. At Markham's office, Barnaby carried out his performance flawlessly, adopting the persona of a strict, demanding buyer. He met with Griff, expressing dissatisfaction with small quantities and demanding a massive shipment of weapons worth at least $100,000, stating he was leaving town that very night. Greed overcame Griff's caution. He promised he had an inside source who could deliver the necessary merchandise within a couple of hours. While Barnaby was setting the trap, Wayne arrived at a quiet park where Julie and her mother were waiting. Julie had received word of the van's description and had gone to find her son. The side door of the van slid open, and little Jody looked out. He recognized his mother instantly, calling out to her. Julie ran forward, tears streaming down her face, gathering her son into her arms. She looked at Wayne, her heart breaking for the path he had chosen, but grateful beyond words to have her child back. The final confrontation took place at the secluded transfer point past the Baldero turnoff. Griff and his henchman, Roy, arrived to meet their source, only to find themselves intercepted. Barnaby Jones stood before them, his true identity revealed. He ordered them to drop their weapons, informing them that the sheriff's department was already on the way. Griff, realizing he had been deceived, attempted to use the arrival of Wayne's van to create a distraction. He reached for his weapon, threatening to turn the situation into a violent standoff. In the confusion, little Jody stepped out of the vehicle, calling for his father. Wayne, seeing his son in danger, made a definitive choice. He stepped between Griff and the boy, declaring that no one was going to use his son as a shield. He ordered Jody to go back to his mother. The standoff ended safely as the authorities arrived, securing the scene and disarming the criminals. The danger had passed, and the cycle of violence was finally broken. In the quiet aftermath, Julie held Jody tightly near the van. She looked at Barnaby Jones, her expression reflecting a mixture of sorrow for the past and hope for the future. She remembered the early days, recalling the beautiful flowers they used to wear in their hair when the world seemed simple and full of promise. She noted that when she first met Wayne, he truly had been a very nice young man. Barnaby smiled gently, his voice warm and filled with reassurance. He assured her that Wayne would deeply appreciate her sharing those positive memories with Jody as the boy grew up. Surrounded by the warmth of his mother and grandmother, little Jody was finally safe, ready to begin a new chapter of life filled with love, stability, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow.